Happy New Year! And with every new year comes a new tax season. In today's video, we are going to go over some last minute things that you can do to make sure you're ready when your clients start rolling in. You ready? Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Tatiani Favors here, your tax business coach, and happy new year. Okay, we have made it another year, but you already know new year, new tax season. So here is a last minute tax season checklist for those of you who are continuing to cross your T's and dot your I's before the tax season gets too overwhelming and before it gets too busy. Let's go ahead and review some of the last minute things that you can do to make sure that you are ready for your clients as they start rolling through toward the end of this month and beginning in February there and so forth and so on. Okay. So all of the things that I'm going to go over today, it is things that you probably should already have done. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, you should definitely already have these things done. But if you do not have these things in place, then it's still not too late to go ahead and make it happen. Okay. You just must be intentional about making sure that your tax business is where you want it to be. Got it? Okay. Before we go ahead and get into it, go ahead and do all the YouTubey things like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can always hit me up on Instagram if you all want to at Tatiani Favors on all platforms. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Get your pens and paper out. Some of the things that we're going to talk about today, like I said, you might already have accomplished in your tax business, but I want you to take inventory. I want you to see what I'm talking about today, identify the things that you have completed in your tax business, and then also identify what you need to update, what you need to do in order to really be prepared for your clients coming in the next couple weeks. Okay. So, number one thing, and these are not in order. They're not in order from most important to least or vice versa. They are just a list that I put together that I know needs to happen in your tax business. So just get in where you fit in, guys. Okay. Okay. Let's get to it. Update your tax knowledge. Okay. Update your knowledge and training. You want to stay updated with the latest tax laws and regulations, of course. And a lot of people ask me, okay, well, how do I stay updated? The number one way, as I always say, and it's not up here on this screen, and you can also take a screenshot of this photo or this slide rather, is to get it from the horse's mouth. Get your information from the horse's mouth, which is irs.gov website. Go to www.irs.gov. And when you get there, there is a news tablet or not tablet, but tab, a news tab, and it will tell you all of the news, when it was published, what it's about. It's all of the regulations and everything that the latest and greatest that the IRS will put out, but also all the publications, your due diligence, your circular 230s, all of those things you can find on irs.gov website. Okay. But in addition to getting into the horse's mouth, okay, you can do these things to stay informed on what the knowledge is. Okay. So subscribe to industry publications and newsletters. You can join professional organizations. You can attend professional seminars and CE courses. Okay. You can utilize government resources. That's federal and state. So there's the irs.gov, but then you also would want to join the Department of Revenue in your city and state, the Department of Corporations, whatever it's called in your state, the state equivalent to the authority that puts out the state tax regulations. That's what you want to make sure that you're a part of. Networking with peers, okay? Other people in this industry that say, hey, have you heard about XYZ new regulation? What do you think about, this new law or this new due diligence requirement? That will keep iron sharpens iron. So you always want to make sure that you are around great company, okay? Of course, your tax software updates. Your tax software um will update the new regulations and laws. And those updates, if you look at them, you can learn from them. So that's a tidbit that people don't think to go to stay informed with the latest and greatest. Okay. You can follow industry blogs and thought leaders, of course, participate in online forums and webinars. That's always a good thing. And then, of course, having regular review meetings with your peers, with your team, just to make sure everyone in your circle is up to date with the latest and greatest news from the Internal Revenue Service and from your state authority as well. Okay. The next thing, client communication and engagement. Now is the time before your clients get their W-2s and 1099s and things of that nature. Now is the time to really make sure that you're communicating with your existing clientele to make sure that they're even coming back, okay? We want the people who came to our tax business last year to come back this year, of course. And now is the time to go ahead and hit them with the Happy New Year. I hope you and the fam are good. Okay. Here's what's going on new. Here's what's new with our tax firm. Here's what you can expect. You can do this via emails or sending out a newsletter, and it can include important dates. Okay. So you can say something like, January 31st is the deadline that employees have to issue out W-2s and 1099s. So if you're waiting on 1099s or W-2s, your employee or your employer um, has the legal responsibility to file it as late as January 31st. So you can expect it January 31st or the first week in February if they mail it to you. Once you get those documents, then you can upload them here, put a nice little link in there so they can upload their documents. Also let them know what all they would need to properly file and expedite their filing, what they would need. So they'll already have all of the goodies, the knowledge that they need in order to go ahead and come back to your tax office to get their taxes prepared for this tax season. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're diligent in sending out that communication. And I'm going to give y'all some homework. Okay. I usually don't date my communication or not my communication, but I usually don't date my videos, but I'm going to do it this time because if you're listening to me now, you need to know today is the 5th when I'm recording this. I don't know when I'll release this, but I'm gonna tell y'all need to send out this communication at least by the 15th. The 15th is on a Monday. Okay. Um, I would even say at the latest the 26th, but let's shoot for the 15th. Okay. Let's shoot for the 15th of you sending out this communication to your people so they'll understand how to come back and file their taxes with your company this tax season. Okay. Like, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Also, again, you can schedule consultations with these clients as well. So go ahead and put in a link in that email, in that correspondence saying, hey, if you have something new that we need to be aware of, if you have any questions, go ahead and schedule some time with one of our preparers, and we'll make sure that you're prepared when you get all of your tax documents, okay? You want to go ahead and remind them of all the financial documents, the tax documents that they would need, how to upload in that in a way that they can actually schedule some time on your calendar to talk to you or someone on your team. Okay. Go ahead and do that by the 15th, guys. Next, we're talking office and staff preparation. Okay. Office and staff preparation. Now, when I say office, this could be if you have a brick and mortar, aka a physical location where your clients actually come to your office, or even if you have just a one person office. A lot of people, especially now in the remote ages that we're in, they don't want to work from home because kids might be home, whatever. So they might get a one seater in a shared office space. Okay. So it doesn't matter if clients come visit you at your office or not, or even if it's your home office. It's for all of the above. You want to ensure that your office setup is efficient for the busy season. Okay. You want to make sure that everything is in order, that everything is organized. So when your clients start rolling in, and you already know when a client start rolling in, you go from 0 to 250 really quickly. Okay. Really, really, really quickly. So you want to make sure that you are ready for that influx of clientele all at the same time. So make sure that your setup is something that's efficient and it works for you. Okay. You also want to organize any digital and physical filing systems. Okay. So get your systems in order, get your SOPs in order, which is your standard operating procedures. Okay. Get your workflows in order. And just to let you know, if you need help refining or even creating some systems and SOPs for your tax business, my company does that for tax businesses. So reach out to me and say, hey, I need some SOPs. Hey, I need some internal operations created. Hey, I need some systems. Hey, I need some workflows. Okay. And we will have you covered. Also, and this is if you have a team, okay? Now is the time to train and brief your team on any new procedures that you've implemented into your tax business, and also any software updates. If you are utilizing new software, if you're, well, not if, your tax software, even if you've used the same tax software as last year, it has updates every year. Make sure you're familiar with them so you can train your team on all of those updates, okay? Also, you want to plan your staffing schedules to ensure that you have adequate coverage during peak times. You know when your peak times are. Peak times generally are February and March. Those are typically like peak times. February and March are like peak times. You all know your tax business better than I do, so you know when your peak times are and when you know you need that adequate coverage during those peak times. Go ahead and start getting those schedules together now. You know it's coming, so why wait until it gets here? Okay. Also, if you've had any independent contractors, if you've paid out tax preparers last year or anyone on your team, if you paid them over $600, then you are federally responsible to file a 1099 on their behalf. Okay. And you have to do that by January 31st. Our company files 1099s as well. So if you need help with that, holla at us. Okay. Another thing is to ensure your pricing module is solid. Okay. What do I mean? I mean that when clients come, do not charge client A this and charge client B that. Okay. When they both have just one W-2, have an actual pricing model that you stick to. That you stick to. I actually have a YouTube video about how to price your tax services. You want to make sure that you have a model that you stick to. One thing that tax preparers tend to do is start to feel sorry for their clients and say, oh, they have a liability, so I didn't charge them a lot. Or, oh, their refund wasn't racks on racks, so I didn't charge them a lot. No, your tax preparation fee is not dependent upon someone else's liability or refund amount. You have the knowledge, the expertise, and you spent the time preparing this return. So it does not matter if they have a liability or if they have a small refund. Your fee is not dependent upon what they do or do not get back. Okay. So have a pricing model set and keep and execute it. Make sure that you're using it so you can be profitable. Okay. So those are the things that you do for office and staff preparation. Moving on along, and y'all can rewatch this video. I'm sure you will have to, but moving on along to technology and software check. Okay, you want to ensure that all tax preparation software is updated and functioning. So now is the time you should already have your your professional tax software. Okay, not TurboTax or nothing like that. Your professional tax software. You want to make sure it's updated. You want to make sure that everything is okay with it. You want to make sure that your bank is connected to it, the refund bank. You want to make sure all of the things that you need to have completed are complete. And one of the main things is your preparation, your software. Okay. You cannot prepare taxes without your tax preparation software. All right. So make sure that it is functioning optimally. Also, you want to test computers and any backup systems that you have to make sure everything is functioning properly. And of course, you want to implement data security measures to protect your client information. How are you protecting your client information? There are compliance rules, due diligence, things of that nature that the IRS specifically puts out for data security. You can find those on where? The IRS.gov website. It's data security that you have to do. You have to do certain things. So no matter if you have a physical location or you have a virtual tax office, you have to make sure that everything is secure. Okay. We deal with clients' most intimate information, date of birth, bank account information, social security numbers, income, addresses, everything someone needs to do something illegal with. Okay. Because we have this information, we have to go above and beyond. Making sure that our clients feel safe with us, but B, making sure we're in compliance by following the data security that the IRS has put before us. Okay. So make sure that those things are in order, guys. Next, financial and business planning. Again, these are not in any specific order. Financial and business planning. You want to review and set business goals for the tax season. Well, how much money do you want to make? Okay. And a lot is not an answer. A lot is not a number. More than last year is not a number. Put an actual number to it. How much do you want to make? Do you want to make $20,000? Do you want to make $100,000? Last year you made $30,000. This year you say, okay, I want to go for $50,000. What amount of money do you want to make? Put a number by it. Why? Because if you put a number by it, then by the backwards design, you can figure out how many tax returns you need to prepare in order to keep that number, in order to reach that number. Okay. So be very clear, be very intentional with your planning. Okay. Also, plan your budget and look at your financial forecast. How much money, what does that look like? Okay, this is how much money I want to make. Here's my budget based on all of my expenses and things of that nature. And so my financial forecast should be XYZ because I have considered my expenses, my overhead, okay, my business expenses, also how much I charge per tax return. So that's going to tell me how many tax returns I need to prepare in order to reach my financial goal, okay? That's going to break all of that down for me so I can so my financial forecast can be as accurate as possible. Okay. And of course, like I said, we're back to price. You want to review and update your pricing model. Okay. How are you charging for your tax preparation services? Was last year's pricing structure, effective? Were you profitable? Did it work for you? Why or why not? Okay. But you want to make sure that those prices are set. All right. Let's move on to marketing and client acquisition. Okay. Updating your website, your social media platforms with relevant tax season information. okay, with relevant tax season information. We're here now. So now let's talk to our niche audience about how they can file their taxes, what's important, what deductions and credits that they, could be eligible for, why it's important to even file, how easy it is to file with your company, tidbits that they may or may not have known, okay? That's what we want to start to do regularly on our social media. All right. You want to launch a marketing campaign to attract new clients. Now, we talked about client retention earlier, which is the communication that you can send to your clients to try to make sure that they come back this tax season. But client retention is important. Client acquisition is as equally as important. Yes, it costs more money to get a new client than it is to keep a new client, but that doesn't mean you want to stop getting new clients, okay? So, intentionally create an effective marketing campaign so you can attract new clients and be relentless in it and consistent. Okay. Also, you can network with other professionals who might refer clients to you. So, that can be financial advisors, that can be accountants and bookkeepers who don't prepare taxes because all accountants don't prepare taxes. Okay. That can be attorneys, that could be anyone who has a group of people who need tax prep services. Okay. And then also, I would say make sure you order or put on display your marketing products from your marketing products to market your bank products. Okay. If you are offering bank products, go ahead and you would have to order those flyers and all of that from the bank. They'll send it to you for free. You might have to pay shipping and handling, depending on which refund bank you're with, and go ahead and get that stuff because that's just free marketing information and paraphernalia that you could put around your office that you can help to market your tax business. Okay. So make sure that you have those things as well. Listen, this is important. And I want to make sure that before we get to the height of the tax season, before you get overwhelmed and want to pull your hair out or close your business, let's go ahead and put in some self-care and stress management structure now. Okay. I want you to plan a work-life balance strategy to avoid burnout. Okay. Now, when I say work-life balance, I don't know how balanced things are during tax season, okay? Because, and I'm not sure personally, and this is a personal thing, when people say, I'm just looking for the balance, I'm not sure I'm looking for the balance because if you think of a scale, if everything is balanced, nothing is moving. So tax season, things will be a little out of whack. If you're focused on your tax business, then of course your personal life is going to maybe decline slightly. It doesn't have to, go to HE double hockey sticks, but it will decline slightly. Okay. Just like during the summer, when you're on vacation, your personal life really increases, but your professional life it declines slightly because your attention isn't there. You're on your break. You're having your break. Okay. So there are times for peaks of personal life and there are times for peaks in professional life. And during tax season, this is a peak. This is a peak. So I'm not sure about balance, but what you can do is create a strategy. I use that word because people understand balance, but create a strategy to avoid burnout. That's what we don't want. Yes, you can work a lot. And yes, this is a peak of our professional business. Okay. But we don't want to burn out. And so create a strategy to avoid burnout. You can incorporate stress reduction techniques into your daily routine. So, whether that's meditation, prayer, listening to certain types of music, stretching for 10 minutes in the middle of your day, drinking a certain type of tea, whatever you need to make sure that your mind is not burning out, getting overwhelmed, and you're really incorporating and adopting some stress reduction techniques. Okay. Do not skip over this. This is very important because when clients start getting the clienting, okay, and yes, I did just say that, you want to pull your hair out, you want to pull their hair out, you want to shut your business down, you want to curse people out. You are not going to want to do those things if you have consistently made sure that you are doing some type of stress management where you can not only expect those things, but deal with them gracefully. And that's the goal, okay? You are the CEO of your tax business, so behave in such a manner. All right, let's talk about regulatory compliance. You want to ensure that you are compliant with all IRS regulations and guidelines. And I showed you before on how you can stay abreast to all of the regulatory guidelines. Go to the irs.gov website. Go to your state's authority to make sure that you understand what the state requires of you, okay? And then you can always I would say review and update all of your client engagement letters, your consent forms, all of those. Make sure that the proper years are displayed. Make sure that what you say you're going to do is in there and you actually do it and you are compliant. Okay. You just want to make sure that you don't receive any nice little love letters from the IRS saying, hey, you're not in compliance, and here's a nice little fee penalty for being out of compliance. We do not want that. That was not an expense we accounted for, and therefore that's not an expense that we want to pay. Okay. And of course, let's talk about professional development. Okay. Again, I want you to continue to set personal and professional development goals. Okay. Development goals. So not so different from your financial goals and your business related goals, but your professional development goals. What skill sets are you massaging and increasing this tax season? Okay. It doesn't have to be in tax preparation or anything to do with tax. It could be in, you know what? I need to learn how to delegate better. I need to learn how to be a better leader for my team, or I need to learn how to let go of the reins and hire a team. It can be whatever you need to do to professionally develop as the CEO of your tax business. Just think about what that looks like. And you can do certain things like join tax professional associations, okay, local business groups, networking groups, support groups. It can be in person on Facebook. Facebook has every single group you can think of, Facebook has, okay? You can join one of those groups. You can join an in-person group. You can create your own group. But how are you developing professionally and personally? Okay, I really want to leave y'all with that. All right. And then of course, professional credentials. You need your P10, so you need to either renew it or obtain it. They lowered the price this year, so it was like 19.95 to renew it. I'm pretty sure it was 19.95 to obtain it as well if you are new. But go ahead and do that. If you hadn't done it, you were supposed to do it by December 31st. But if you hadn't done it already, you can still do it. It's not too late. So go ahead and do it. If you do not have a P10 for the tax season 2024, okay, tax season 2024, tax year 2023, then you cannot legally be compensated for tax preparation services, okay? So if you plan on charging your clients money in in exchange for preparing their taxes, you have to have an active, up-to-date P10, okay? You have to do that. So make sure you have your P10. And of course, depending on what state you're in, it might require you to have some type of business license, local business license, um, any type of state or local business license to conduct business wherever you are. In the state of Georgia, we don't need a business license to prepare taxes, but some states do require that. So make sure that you are legal both in the eyes of the federal, which is the IRS, and states' eyes. Okay. You don't have to be, if you're in, if to be compliant in your state, you just have to be compliant in the state that you live in. Not every single state that you prepare a tax return in but just the state that you are in. You have to make sure that you are being compliant in that state. Okay. So, guys, like I said, these checklists, these items on this checklist is not in any particular order. Okay. But if you do not have these completed, or if you started and didn't finish, now is the time to do so before tax season gets super